How we doing? So these are my top picks for today. All right, let's start with True City NFT. So this was a launch today with $150,000 in liquidity currently. I'm not sure why it sold off. We do have volume here though. It's the weekend, it's Friday, so it's quite hard to find volume. So anything that has more than 100 transactions per hour and has a decent amount of liquidity, I am going to be paying attention to. This is deeply sold off. I'm waiting for a reversal signal, which could be about now. I did consider taking an entry down at this bottom here just because I see the curve. You can see how the lows get the distance between the previous low is shortening, right? And we might see that again here where it actually creates a higher low and then comes up. But it depends on the sentiment and if it maintains volume. I do not consider this an entry. By the way, none of this is financial advice. Okay, do your own research. I only do technical analysis anyway, so I'd really recommend you do your own research. Okay, we're losing volume here. I wouldn't consider this an entry just yet, but I am paying attention to it. On IMT, however, the community is, I can actually keep this here. The community remains bullish and active, okay? We still have decent volume on this token, and we are deeply oversold. Actually, if we pull up the RSI here, can I haven't used this in quite some time. Do we have divergence? We do have divergence, right? So here we have a lower low, but a higher low on the RSI, so showing strength in volume, right? So I took this entry here. We were clearly downtrending and finally formed some sort of support. You could actually technically call this a higher low here, validating a change in trend. I think the opportunity here, I think we have a high probability of hitting my 50% target. I have a 3% or a 3-to-1 ratio. Wow, I can't speak today. Ratio set here. Okay, and when you zoom out, that 50% really isn't too much. I also want to make sure that it's a little bit below that previous support area there. Okay. A lot of other people, if they are accumulating in this area, are going to have that line here at the previous support as a sell target. So I want to sell before the everybody else does. It's currently looking really good. I actually I made a call about this a few days ago, and it's holding up really well. All right. Another reason this could do no, that's about it. We have a plateau and a break of trend, so it's looking pretty good with the bullish community. On Square Token here, if you zoom out, right? I always like to look at the entire chart first before trying to take an entry. You'll see here that we are deeply oversold, incredibly oversold, right? Other people were smart enough to buy the dip at $33 and then sell at $44. So this right here is already a trade. So I wouldn't be surprised if it came down, especially with the decreasing volume we have here. Okay. However, when you zoom in here, let's take a look at the 5-minute. We are plateauing and creating higher lows, as you can see, and testing our highs, right? So if we do break through, I personally will be looking for an entry after we break the top of our range here. Looking for probably something like this, where it comes up, comes back down, creating support, and then I take my entry right there, looking for, set your targets and stop loss there. But good at wherever there's volume, there's always entries, right? Excuse me. Same goes along for Qatar. I actually just wanted to do an update on this one here. If we zoom out to the 15, oh, is it the hour? Oh yeah, there we go. So I took profits on this token earlier today. Let me load it in Dex tools so that we can have a better idea of what exactly happened here. Okay, so let's take a look. So first of all, the reason I sold, I had a 30% target here, but the reason I took profits early is because I noticed that we failed to form a higher high. We were forming higher high, higher high, higher high, and then we plateaued, signifying a change in trend. So I took profits for a 20% there. Okay. But what did I enter? I made this post on Twitter as well. Feel free to follow if you'd like to receive updates on these entries. Okay. We had a break of trend here on this. It's such a weird pattern. I guess you could call it a triangle pattern, but I'd rather say a break of trend. I broke through with quite some volume. It was really just following the volume. We broke through this line, came back to previous resistance, becoming support, reacted well, and then rose for a total of a 30%, but got sold off pretty quick. Somebody else also had that target. This could continue uptrending, especially with the World Cup volume kicking in, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a pullback first. Qatar, because of the volume, is a good swing trade token, even during these downtrends here. Okay, you could say, I don't know, let's say we were here, right? Where would we look for an entry? I'd most likely use this area right here and this area right here to look for entries. And as you can see, somewhere in that range, always be prepared to DCA, but somewhere in that range, there's always entries, right? So moving right along, I don't want to spend too long on this video. LCT, just another update here. I made a post about this one on Twitter because of a very, very simple concept, which is structure. Okay, we reversed at this price twice before, and when we slowly downtrended to that price again, we have a very high probability of moving in the opposite direction as we have before. This was a really good trade for a simple 41%, but up is up, and a 41%, if you're compounding that income, is absolutely amazing. The final token I want to talk about today, again, not a lot, is ULX. Okay, now this is a long-term token. I'd like to actually take some time and do some research on the fundamentals of this token. In my opinion, we are oversold and coming to an area of previous resistance, which may become support. So I'm going to keep this in mind. If this is a very a serious token and the entire market starts bull running, we might be finding a really good entry here for a possible 3x over time, which you might be able to find in Ethereum or BNB as well, but still something to take a look at. The final the final thing I want to talk about is there is always going to be entries on these swing tokens such as INJ, Mask, Time, Square Token, LCT, BitPaid, MDX. It goes on. I don't want to talk about these every single video, so what I'm going to do is create a Google Documents, and I will consistently a public Google Documents and consistently update that document. Okay, so you have something to refer to if you'd like. It's a little bit tough to find tokens sometimes. I already did the volume search today. That's really all I have. Everything will be linked in the description. I hope you found this video useful. Make sure you're following a strategy. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out of here. And I'm out of here now, yeah.